Welcome back to Season 3 of ASD Market Week's podcast, Let's Talk a Little Shop. With your host, me, Emily Lewis. We're going to tackle the hard subjects. So buckle up and get ready for Season 3. We're going to have a lot of fun. Welcome back to another episode of ASD Market Week's Let's Talk a Little Shop. So this is going to absolutely be my favorite episode. No offense to anyone that came before this, but this episode is going to be the ASD team, the team that makes it happen. So you're getting to hear firsthand knowledge of what it's like to pull the curtain back on ASD. So today I have Stephanie Baring-Haley, who is the VIP Buyer Relations Director. So she is over our very, very important buyers. So Stephanie, welcome.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm so excited that this is going to be your favorite one to do.
So now I have Lynette Dow with us, who is the Director of Marketing for the sales side of ASD Market Week. So Lynette, just like I've asked everybody else on the team, I want to know, what does that mean? What do you do? Tell us.
I mean, in everyday life, it's really supporting the sales team to help get leads, prospects, and help to convert them into an actual exhibitor at ASD Market Week. So you're talking about different marketing campaigns, different targetings. We also do a variety of channel marketings as well to help draw in these prospects and leads.
Okay. So everything, the way that you can think of it is everything that the exhibitor touches or sees or interacts with is pretty much coming from your team.
Correct.
All right. So now we have Ariel Paterick, who is our marketing director on the audience side of ASD Market Week. So Ariel, what does that mean?
It's funny that you asked that, because I still sometimes don't understand the term audience, but essentially the audience side pertains to the attendees. So getting all the attendees to register to the show, get there, anything that's attendee facing.
Okay. So give us an example of maybe some attendees that come to ASD Market Week so we can put it into perspective for everyone.
I could list probably 20 different types in every single category, from Buc-ee's to Ross to HEB, Hallmark stores. We have such a wide variety of attendees across all categories, and, like mom and pop boutiques to the big guys.
So I have Tess Bryant, who is on our ASD team, one of the integral parts of our ASD team, because she is a marketing manager over our sales side of marketing. So Tess, what does that mean?
I like to consider myself a customer connection connoisseur.
Oh, I love that name. We need to change our titles.
Yes.
All right. We have Sarah Burt today, who is our marketing manager on the audience side of ASD. What does that mean, Sarah? What do you do? Tell us.
So that means that my responsibility is to get the attendees to come to ASD Market Week. So it's kind of a constant marketing cycle.
So we have with us today Caitlin Caruso, who is a design lead on many of our shows at Emerald, one of those shows being ASD Market Week. So Caitlin, what does being a design lead mean?
I essentially touch every creative point within the shows that I work on. So from the brand design as a whole, also touching on all the print, digital, video. I edit this podcast. Pretty much a little piece of everything the marketing team does, honestly.
So now we have Mr. James Shannon on with us, and he is a senior marketing specialist on the sales side of our marketing team. So James, what does that mean, and what do you do?
Hi, everybody. So like Emily said, I'm James. So as a senior marketing specialist, my day-to-day looks a lot like writing emails. So everything you guys are seeing in your inbox, a lot of my day is spent writing that and reviewing it with the whole team to make sure we sound great, which we have a whole system for that. And then it's also a lot of time in the exhibitor show planner, just making sure everything's displaying correctly there, helping troubleshoot anything exhibitors are experiencing on there. And then right now, just a couple weeks before the March show actually kicks off right now, my whole day is spent in the show directory. So we're going through line by line, editing things, adding new things in, making sure it's as up to date and correct as we can before everything goes to print in just a few short weeks. So
we have with us now Mahalat McConan, who is a marketing manager for the audience side of our business. So Mahalat, just like I ask everybody else, what does that mean?
Well, for me on the audience side, I handle majority of the communication. So everything, email, SMS, and social. So I'd like to think of it as like the communications manager, front facing, everything that the buyers are seeing that represents ASD.
What advice do you have for those first timers? If you had like one piece of advice.
Prep work. It's something that you're so involved with getting to the show and what you have to do once you're there, whether you're a buyer or a seller. You need to understand where you're going and if it's the right market for you, and then all of the quirky things that you need to be successful. So I would say do the prep work, ask whatever show you're interested in going to, what the best practices are and what you should be doing to best prepare. Yeah. Because once you're there, it's too late. So I prep. So I'm going to say.
Yeah. As someone who works with our new customers very closely, if you had one piece of advice for new customers coming into ASD, what would it be?
I would tell you to come in with an open mind and really absorb it. Typically, our customers, it takes around 3 shows to really hit your stride with ASD. It's a huge show. And many exhibitors have been here for 20 plus years. So I would say get to know those exhibitors, learn from them, absorb everything at the show, and really capture those leads and follow up after the show, because then at your next show, maybe you didn't make a sale with them this year, but they'll remember you the next year and you'll be much more likely to close that deal.
The cover of the New York Times, and it was the headline articles about ASD, what would it say?
I would say probably like something like more than what meets the eye, or
I love that. What is one tool that you guys are using at ASD that you find the most helpful?
It's something new, and it is called Neighborhood Guides. And what I love about it is that it goes over our 9 different product categories, or 9 neighborhoods. And it just teaches you the importance of diversifying your product mix. And it opens up your whole world of being, of saying, if I put this in my storefront, not only can I excite my clientele, but I can probably upsize that basket size. So I would say the neighborhood guides, it's good for both the exhibitors to understand what's going on, what's trending in the market and who their competitors are and what's new and interesting. And then as a buyer, it certainly gives you a bird's eye of the market and, just gives you access to really amazing product and just, like I said, trends.
Yeah. If you had to pick one tool, I know we've talked about the show directory, which is a tool. We've also talked about the online show planner. We have so many different tools out there for our exhibitors and our attendees to use. But if you had to pick just one, what would your one be?
Oh, all right. This one might be a little bit different. I'd say the CSM team, because these tools come to the personification really of life. They know the show planner, they know the directories. They've been doing this for so many years. They're just an invaluable resource to have on your side. So.
Okay. And so to explain, CSMs are customer service managers. They're the ones that when an exhibitor has a problem, you can just pick up the phone, you can call, you can get a real human on the line that really does know the show and can answer questions for you. So you're saying, if in doubt, as an exhibitor, just pick up the phone and call those CSMs.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They are fantastic. And then on site, the info booth desks, because
Yes.
they are under the radar, but they have everything information wise that we have at the show all in one place while you're on the show floor needing that kind of live information.
Yes.
I don't know if everyone is aware, but we do have a show planner. And
They're probably not. Tell us about
and
it.
what that really is. I know it's considered, it's a part of our website, but I do want to just really emphasize that because it's important on both the exhibitor side and on the buyer side, because exhibitors are in there loaded on the back end. They have tagged their product categories that they sell. They've also highlighted keywords that are tied to the products that they also, are featuring. And then that way buyers can go on to the show planner. They can filter out, what categories to look for, what keywords, what, where they want to buy it from, because we also have an international component to ASD Market Week. And even if you want to look at other brand identifiers as a buyer, so if you want to shop minority owned or woman owned, right? You can look all of that all in the show planner. And the best thing about the show planner is that you can actually connect and message from the buyer to exhibitor or exhibitor to buyer, so you can pre-plan appointments when you actually arrive at ASD Market Week.
What is your absolute favorite thing, or one thing maybe that you haven't done that you're really excited about in Vegas this time? Because I know you go a lot, so I know it's a hard question. We got to get excited about Vegas, but what's that one thing that like you're just like, I'm never going to miss this, or I need to try this?
It's going to sound weird, and I miss it a lot. And I'm a total outdoors girl. If you have not gone to Red Rock, it is totally worth your time. It's off the strip. It's about 40 minutes away, but it gets you out into nature. It's like the 17-mile drive that's up north in Monterey. And it's exquisite. It's beautiful. And it gets you away from the lights and the food and just gives you a center of being. So I would say put in an extra day, get a car, and then head on over. You won't be disappointed. And just such an amazing place to go visit.
We have the after party, which is a whole cool experience. I've never gone clubbing before, and that was wow.
Oh, I forgot. That was your first time to club was with ASD at our after party. I love that.
Totally different world from what I've ever seen, and it was beautiful and like so cool, but like wow. I could see how you could get tired with that.
Yeah, and to elaborate, we have a partnership with Tao Group. And so we use several of their clubs. We've done the Jewel, we've done Omnia, and they're just such a great partner to have. And it is so fun because you get access to the best DJs and you have no idea what's going to happen in Vegas. So I always say, don't miss the after party, even if you do like to go home and go to bed, because I agree with you. I love being in a nice luxury hotel, ordering room service, and just like watching an episode of something. But don't miss out on the after party because there's always a surprise. Tell us one thing that you look forward to. Maybe one thing for this season that you're looking forward to, because I know there's a show coming up in March. And then maybe one thing that you feel like is always your favorite thing at ASD.
Yeah. So this show cycle, I'm honestly looking forward to all the events and activations. Like I'm very excited to see this is the most activations I've ever seen us do. So I'm very excited to see all the activations, like the oxygen bar, the 360 photo booth. I definitely decide I'm going to get in that. So it's just, I'm very excited to see all the activations.
I'm so excited for all of the new things that we're doing. New programs, new activations, new lounges, the new format of the seminar series. There's so much new, in addition to obviously new vendors and new products, which is so much fun to see. But we have some really exciting seminars, some great speakers. We're going to have some influencers at the show. There are some great lounges within each of the halls to kind of like create like a really good atmosphere. So we're doing some really fun things. We have a DIY hat bar.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we have more photo ops. Just the spaces are just going to be really fun. I think it's going to have a really good energy on the show floor.
I think my favorite thing each year is meeting with our new exhibitors and really seeing them from the first day when they don't know what's going on to the last day when they are just so excited. They've met so many connections through the show. They've really just learned so much about how ASD works, and just seeing them so excited for the next show.
I think personally, every single show, I like to walk around and just take it all in. I guess, I mean, that it kind of sounds kind of corny, but every show, it's so different, and the people that you interact with and the conversations that you have. I mean, compared to the first show when everybody was coming back from the pandemic and we're still trying to get comfortable being around people, and then now we're very comfortable and it feels natural and interacting with everyone. And now that I'm on social, I'm doing even more, vendor interviews and like taking pictures and being a lot more engaging one-on-one time, and making sure that I'm visiting as many people as I can and getting my steps in. So I think that is probably like my favorite / what I look forward to every ASD.
Honestly, being in the South Hall, I haven't been in the South Hall since my job previously to this. I worked with the National Hardware Show. Was the last time I think I was in the South Hall. So I think it's kind of nice being in the South Hall because everything is stacked on top of each other since it's two levels. So it's a little more, I don't want to say condensed, but it might be easier to navigate versus the halls that we were in previously.
Yeah. You're not going to miss that sky bridge.
No. I'm sure my Apple Watch is going to be like, where are your steps?
Yeah, exactly. You have only hit like 15 or 18,000, not 30 because of the sky bridge. That's actually like a really good point, that things actually will this season be so much closer to each other because we'll be in Central Hall and then South Hall, and they're so close to one another. So no sky bridge over to West this year. Do you get asked what ASD stands for?
Yes, all the time. Affordable shopping destination. A lot of people don't know just because we just kind of go by ASD Market Week. So a lot of people don't actually know that's what it means, even though we have it a lot of places, but we just don't refer to it as that often. So a lot of people do not know what it means.
If ASD had a personality, would ASD be an introvert or an extrovert?
See, and I don't know if you've heard of this saying where you can be an extrovert introvert. And that's where, so I kind of feel like that's where ASD is a little bit of that. Okay. ASD really embodies the traits of an extrovert at times, where it's dynamic, it's engaging. It thrives on the energy of collaboration and interaction amongst the buyers and exhibitors. But at the same time, it can also be an introvert where you can peacefully do your buying. You can calmly, go in, get it done, and come out. So I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Okay. I like that answer. So we got something for everybody.
Exactly.
You can be both, and you can still get something out of ASD.
We also have a dedicated show area called Source Direct, which is located at ASD Market Week in the Las Vegas Convention Center. And it is basically a top area for our importers and distributors and our manufacturers, where they can come and shop directly from the source. So you are meeting with international buyers from Brazil, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, India, South Korea. It changes from show to show, but you that's where you can shop directly from the source. And that's the best thing about ASD Market Week, because you can come here, you can shop directly from the source, you cut out the middleman, and you can just meet with them right there on the show floor.
So is there a favorite memory that you have at ASD, or maybe a funny memory that you have from ASD?
Yeah, my favorite memory is actually last show cycle. We did we brought Gather Voices, was basically we collect attendee and exhibitor video testimonials. And one of the testimonials this guy, I just asked him, because we were giving away Starbucks gift cards. He was standing in the Starbucks line. So I just went up to him and I was like, hey, do you want to record a testimonial for coffee? And he was like, sure. So he came over and he basically said, I wouldn't have a business without ASD Market Week. And I was like, well, what a better testimonial than that. But he said about 9 years ago, he came to ASD Market Week, bought a whole bunch of things for wholesale. And that's how he started his business. And he comes twice a year to stock up. And he said that he started his business with ASD and he continues to run his business with ASD. And I was like, that is a great testimonial. And I just found him in the coffee line at Starbucks. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's amazing. Well, good work on being a great marketer and digging and finding him, because that is gold.
Well, I think one of the funniest coincidences was last show. There was an exhibitor that I found out was from my small hometown. And so we ended up just talking for maybe 30 minutes just about the good old days. And it's just crazy because at ASD, you have people from all over the world, especially in our Source Direct section. And then you happen to find somebody just from your little neck of the woods too. So it's just crazy who you'll meet at the show.
I love that. I love that.
I mean, I love it when like influencers or like any type of celebrity comes to a show, because I think it's just so interesting. But we've had, Paul Rodriguez, huge fan since I was a kid. That was great.
Yeah.
And then we've also had, who I just recently discovered at this past show, was Jeremy Fragrance, who's a yes, he's a huge. So that interaction was wonderful. I mean, that was something definitely that I just was watching in awe. It's a great moment.
For those who don't know who Jeremy Fragrance is, you have to tell us a little bit about him.
So he is a huge perfume, cologne, fragrance influencer. Okay. And he gives his recommendations and he rates fragrances. And one of our vendors invited him to the show, and he came, and it was he is such a personality and so unique. And it's just one of those interactions where it's like you can tell that this person is just has so much charisma, and it's very funny, and like it's just so natural. So and it was great. Watching those was great. Any type of influencer interaction with people is my favorite.
I love it. So for everybody that's listening, you have to go look up Jeremy Fragrance, then you will understand, because he is definitely a character. So
I think actually 2 shows ago, one of the winners of a Louis Vuitton in our swag store, just the joy it brought for something that's, I mean, it's not little. Everyone wants a new Louis Vuitton bag. But it was just a great moment. And she was crying, and she, it was just such a fun way to connect with our retailers, and just seeing like the look on their faces, and, they're going for business. They're going to find product for their store, and, they don't expect something like that to happen. I think moments like that are just like really great memories. She hugged me. She took a photo with me and wanted me to text it to her. It was just so sweet. And I think like memories like that of really like connecting with our attendees and our exhibitors too, and just building those relationships. And it's just such a close-knit community.
That's great. I love that story. And who doesn't want a new Louis Vuitton? I mean, that's amazing. I would hug you too if you gave me a new Louis Vuitton.
I think my favorite memory, though, is we had our team dinner at this amazing Italian restaurant. Remember, with the mobsy, the beautiful pictures, just a culture around it. It was amazing to have time with the group that really makes everything possible on site. All of us in the same room, just enjoying each other's company. It's something that the outside of our team doesn't get to see, really. So we are a family. We do get to spend time with each other, and we love it, and we have a great time doing it. So
yes, more so than any team I've ever experienced. ASD is such a family.
I believe like 2 ASDs ago, we all did karaoke together as a team. Yeah. And that was just so fun. It's always, I think, so funny to see what everyone's go-to karaoke song is. It's like surprising to see what people come out with. So so that was just a great experience as a whole.
Yes, karaoke was fun. Okay, what's your go-to song?
Oh God. My go-to karaoke song is usually "Any Man of Mine" by
Shania.
Shania, yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
Which is
and that
so
one,
random.
that one did happen that night. I remember that. So that
Yeah.
was fun. What do you love about the ASD brand?
I think the ASD brand is really great just because we have so many colors and graphics that we can use in the brand. It's really versatile. I think it has a lot of opportunity to grow even within its own creative branding. I think that's something that we've really been trying to work on, at least since I've started at ASD. It's kind of evolving and always has room to evolve, which is really a great thing as a designer, that you're not like pigeonholed into something very specific. It's very,
Yeah, sounds
yeah,
like you have a lot of leeway to have fun from
yes.
season to season when you
Yeah,
want
I
to.
try.
So, what do you think? What is the one thing that makes ASD Market Week unique or different from other shows?
I think there's a few things. I mean, I always love to say to people, there really is a sense of community, even between the exhibitors, the retailers, even with how many new attendees we have every single show, there's just a feeling about it. So I think that is one aspect that makes it unique. And then definitely the variety. I mean, there's no other show you can attend and find the variety of products. Even with the other trade shows I've worked on, like when I heard from diamonds to dustpans was the old tagline. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I go to the show and I literally saw diamonds and dustpans. And it makes sense because the variety is crazy.
I don't want to be
Yes.
biased, but
Yes,
we have a wonderful team of salespeople, marketers, even on site, our registration team, our customer service. We're very helpful, and we're trying to make this experience for each person that we interact with like the best show that we possibly can. And then also just, I mean, I've said this before, but just like the variety, like you really could walk into one hall, see general merchandise, fashion apparel, and then go into another hall and it's a totally different world. And you're walking into alternative lifestyle, C-store, and it feels like you're in a club, and it's just like so much is going on. So it really feels like each hall, each location, it's like you're entering into their world and you get to experience that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes ASD so fun and definitely at the top of my favorite trade shows, I think, personally.
Yeah. Can you tell me, of the course of the years that you've worked with our exhibitors, is there an exhibitor success story that stands out to you?
Yeah, probably one that just really is just like such a success is one of our exhibitors. They're still with us, MK Lighter. They started out with the show. I think they were in our alternative lifestyle section. They're a lighter company. So that's kind of where they started. And each show, they were so fantastic at following up with their customers, keeping with the show, doing pre-show promotion. So each show, it was just like a snowball effect in how much success they had. And now they're in a large booth. They've found their stride in general merchandise. They've found that they're not just an alternative lifestyle brand. They're actually buyers like AutoZone they picked up at the show. And so they're now being distributed nationwide. So I think they're one of my favorite customers because, they did their homework. They did all the right things, and they really are finding a ton of success. They've said multiple times ASD is their favorite trade show that they do.
I mean, I think just most recently, this company, they are a new exhibitor to ASD Market Week. They didn't really know what they were getting themselves into. They are I would say a gift store where they produce special flannels. And it was the first time they were just meeting customers, didn't know what to expect. And on the first day alone, the exhibitor said they were so surprised with the amount of buyers that came through and actually wrote orders at ASD Market Week, that it actually already covered the cost of their booth.
What do you think one of the biggest misconceptions about ASD is? And this is a great question, I think, for you, because you are newer to the team and coming from a different show where maybe you had some of those misconceptions.
Yeah. So coming into ASD, thought everything was going to be kind of the knockoff or kind of, I don't want to say subpar, but just not the huge name brand item, which we certainly do have some of those at the show, but really there's the same brands you're seeing at all the other shows you're shopping for on just a huge, much bigger scale. So I don't think people really recognize the quality that we have here, and also the variety. Like, my favorite piece of jewelry that I wear every day is a crucifix that I got fixed and redid at ASD.
Oh,
And
amazing.
the exhibitor even like fixed additional parts that I didn't know I needed fixed, and he gave me a great rate. And he extended the life of my favorite piece that I wear every day. So you can really find amazing products there, and the exhibitors really care too.
You know, I think, and I've heard this many times, and I think mostly it was from years ago, but it being referred to as a junk show.
Yes.
That's the last thing I would use to describe it, to be honest. Just because the products are lower prices or there's discounts and closeouts and liquidations, there's nothing junky about it. The savviest retailers are going there to buy the high margin products that will cover their entire trip to ASD. You know, and everyone loves a good deal, especially with the way the economy is, and, you know, consumers valuing value and looking for more value in products they buy, because maybe they value travel more. So they're going to spend less. They don't need name brand products. This is the place to buy it. And there's nothing junky about it. I mean, we all shop at Target, H&M, you know, places that are lower price points. Those aren't junky places. So I think just changing perception about the products that are there, because they're good quality products.
Are there little secrets like that in terms of transportation and how to navigate, whether it's to the convention center, out of the convention center, or even when you're in the convention center?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many options getting to and from the convention center and then around. I took the Tesla loop for the first time at our August show, and I loved it. First of all, it was really fun. It's such a good experience. Like, they did a really good job making it an experience. It feels like a ride at Disneyland.
It does.
It totally does. I enjoyed it, and it got me. I mean, it can get you to any hall around the convention center very quickly. I never saw a line. I mean, there's so many cars circulating in that loop that it's just a really great option, and people don't know about it. And I posted it on my personal Instagram. I got so many comments from people. What is that? Where is that? And I was like, it's an underground Tesla loop at the convention center that will take you around the halls. And they're like, that's so cool. I didn't even know they had that. And they're expanding it to the airport. So I think that's just really fun. You know, otherwise, there's just so many options. Some people still want to take taxis. You can take, you know, Uber, Lyft. There's all these different drop-off locations. I like walking the convention center. I like to get my steps in, and also like take different routes. And there's different things you can do along the way, walking from one hall to another, look at product display cases, maybe stop, get a Starbucks, refuel. I don't know. So there's just a lot of different options depending on what you want. I mean, there are days where I'm tired. I don't want to walk, and I'll just get an Uber. And, you know, I could walk across the street, but you know, there's something for everyone. There's so many options. And for March, we have golf carts that will take you from Central Hall to South Hall. It's like an inter-venue little mode of transportation. Yeah, which I think is really cool, because also it takes you to different access points of the show floor in each. So yes, you could, you know, walk across like the bridge to go to Central, take the stairs down to South, or you can take the golf cart and you'll be on a different entrance and see different vendors, and it'll drop you off closer to lounges or match me desks. Or so I think it's fun to switch it up, because then you see different things that maybe you wouldn't.
We have been trying to do as much signage, color coding, and wayfinding as possible. So we've really been trying to make things as clear as possible for the attendees and even the exhibitors when they're moving in, just so that navigation is as understandable and easily legible as possible. So look out for a lot of color coding for transportation, different types of wayfinding maps that have all the clearly marked rideshare pickup, shuttles, and whatever you're using for transportation. We're really trying to make everything as clear as possible for everyone.
What are you most excited about for the future at ASD?
Ooh, that's a good one. There are so many things, honestly. I've heard rumors we're getting a mobile app on site. I'm really excited about that because I like
Those rumors are
technology.
true.
Oh, yes. I like technology. I think it helps enhance just everyone's ability to access what they need when they need it,
Yes.
especially with such a big show. It helps so much when you can pull your phone out and have wayfinding or whatever you can get on these new apps is
Yes.
incredible. And then also just like the continued growth of the show. As we're moving to different halls, I think we'll see some exciting new kind of insights in the buying patterns of people who are coming to shop the show that we might not have picked up on if we didn't move halls.
If you haven't registered for ASD Market Week, you can register on asdonline.com. Don't miss it. If you're not an exhibitor and you just want to come check it out, see what we're all about. It's a great way to see if the show might be a fit for you. It's also a fun trip to Vegas, so you can't say no to that. So awesome. Thank you, Lynette, for being with us, and we'll see everybody in March at ASD.
Thank you.
Be sure to subscribe to ASD Market Week's Let's Talk a Little Shop, a podcast that can be found on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, or Spotify. See you there.